especially to do so in like the hardest time in history. That must have been crazy for you.
Yeah, it was crazy that. Obviously, I remember, obviously with the role I'm at now, it was meant to be an assessment center where I would actually go to the offices. But then, when lockdown hit, it was quite crazy. And next thing I know, but I was also expecting it. I'm being told you're going to be having an online interview at home. So at first I was nervous. So I was thinking, okay, that means I have less time to actually show and shine. I have less time to show myself. So that made me a bit, how do I say it, like a bit, uncomfortable thinking, okay, now that this is an online interview, it won't be the same experience. It won't be the same recognition that I could get if I was in the actual physical building.
Mm.
A friend of mine did tell me though, it's actually a better opportunity for me. I have to believe what you have to say because obviously I'm the type of person that I don't want to see negativity in situations. I want to see how I can turn it into a positive. And I decided to approach it positively in the sense that it was 2 interviews. They were both, I think, under an hour, got them done, and then just had to wait for the results. And then obviously here I am today.
That's crazy, man. I feel like virtual interviews is so difficult because like there's no way to tell like how well you're doing, I guess. I mean, obviously you know more than me, but I much prefer being in person.
Honestly, that's how I've always been. Me, I'm the type of person that's basically, even when I've started my job, like, I've even spoken to managers and I've told them like straight from the point, like, I'm the type of person that is able to really show his true self when I'm with other people in person because that's where it's more physical, it's more real. But when it's online, like, even though possibly I can see your face if your camera's on, it's not the same interaction as if it was in real life. It's not the same energy. It's not the same vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, that's crazy, man. Congrats again on getting the role, though.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I think for a bit of context, like, I remember I was reading the description of your event. It's like you applied for an apprenticeship first, didn't get one, went to uni for a bit, then you dropped out, and then you landed at Google. What was your process like from, I guess, the first application to the last one?
It's a long story, you know. I would actually have to go from when I was 17.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's just the type of story it is. So, when I was 17, I decided I did not want to go to uni. It didn't seem like who I wanted to be. I was like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this whole UCAS thing where I got to suck up to these people that I'll probably never know who I'm talking to, and then get in possibly to one uni that I'll go to maybe outside London most likely for 3, 4, 5 years where I'm going to end up in massive debt that will probably never be cleared off in my lifetime. I was like, that's not for me. I was always the person. Honestly, like, even growing up, I was so, like, the word's adamant, it's adamant? Is adamant, that's the word, sorry. I was so adamant that I was going to be a lawyer. So, I wanted to do law, like, with every part of my being, I said a lawyer, I wanted to do law. But then, as I got older, I started realizing, this law stuff is boring, you know, it's actually boring. So I was like, no, like obviously I thought being a lawyer would be easy because I talk a lot. So it's easy for me. But I realized there was so much more to it than just talking. So I was like, no, forget it. No, forget it. It's actually boring. It's long. So then I had to think, okay, what else is there that interests me? And I saw something. So obviously, a mentor of mine, he did a lot of digital work, like working with digital skills, like as a digital coach and things like that. And obviously over the years I did watch him and I started to realize, this digital marketing stuff gets a bit interesting, you know. Marketing, I like that. Digital, well, I'm Gen Z, that's fun. So if I mix the two together, I got the perfect combination. So I was like, let me do that. So yeah, so obviously I had to tell my mum, okay, mum, I don't want to go to uni. And obviously she's African, so obviously in African households, you know, the stigma is lawyer, engineer, doctor, accountant, something like that. Yeah. So then when you hear no uni, apprenticeship, digital marketing, they're like, what? You don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? To them it's like, what are you doing? But with my parents, like, because I would say I had that kind of respect from them where they were like, even though they didn't like what they decided they would still support me, even though they didn't agree with it. So from that point, it was like the next year. So from 2018 summer until like 2019 summer, I was applying like no one's business for apprenticeships. I was applying for so many different roles. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, I was losing, like, I can't tell you how many. I can't tell the number because I lost track. I lost count of the number. Let's just say I was applying from big corporations to retail. I think, retail. I think I was looking at gov.uk. I was looking at, I was mad that it was so bad. I wasn't even applying for the role I wanted anymore. That's how bad it was. I was just looking for an apprenticeship so I can rest easy knowing I got something. You know what I'm trying to say? But at the same time, I'm happy I never got any of them, because if that happened, then I wouldn't be enjoying what I'm doing right now. Well, I'll be doing something which I never actually want to do. I'll be doing an apprenticeship, but not in a role I wanted to do, which would take my career to the next level, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I don't want to go for every single company, because every single company that's long and I won't remember all of them. So I'll probably name the key 1, 2, 3. I'll say 2 or 3. So the main one was, I'll say, the apprenticeship that really sold me dreams. It was with, do you know the company IBM, tech company?
Oh yeah, big company.
Yeah, so yeah, big company. So IBM was crazy. Like, even in my sixth form, there were other people as well that were thinking of applying to apprenticeships, not just me. So obviously I felt like, cool, so it's not just me that wants to do this. And that's another point as well, it's really crazy, because a lot of the people that were also on this whole thing of, I want to do an apprenticeship, and were even applying for some, a lot of them, I think all of them actually, that I remember, are all in uni now. They're all in uni. They all gave up. They all decided, let me just do uni.
That's crazy.
So that really makes me think that if I actually gave up as well, I'll still be stuck in uni. Honestly, and it's mad. Out of all those people, it's actually crazy. Of course, there were other people in my year group that went out to do apprenticeships, but obviously I'm just really talking about the ones that I would say were in more of the circle of people I communicated with. But yeah, with IBM, so I applied, other people in my year applied. Some of them, all the ones that applied, as far as I know, didn't get past the test stage.
Is that
the
like
test
the first stage?
That's like, so you do the initial application, then you got to do a test.
Okay.
Like an online test, yeah. That test is hard. That test, there were questions that I was thinking, do I really need it? Because the role was, I think, a business consultant or something consultant. I can't remember what it was. But I was thinking, some of the questions there, you don't need these to be a consultant. I'm sorry. I was seeing some maths questions, like, it was so bad, like, there were A-level students that were doing maths. When they even saw the questions themselves that I was facing, they didn't even know how to work around those. Like, it was like,
that's nuts.
So I'm thinking, who's meant to do this? Like, a professor. But somehow I passed. I passed it. So, long story short, I got all the way to the last stage where they invited me to come down for an online interview. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, I had to come down for, I said online interview. Sorry, I had to come for an assessment center. So I had to go to Winchester.
What? I thought they had an office in West London.
They got office in London, but the main office is in Winchester. So I bought new clothes. I bought clothing. I bought new shoes for that day because I was so confident that I was going to get it. Because obviously in my head, I've always said this. When I get to the interview stage of a job, I always get the job. I've never applied for a job, got to the interview stage and been rejected until IBM. So I told them, I go through the day, the assessment center. I was really confident. I really thought I did well. I was like, I didn't do bad. I won't say I was the best, but I know I did good enough to get it. But they even said they can take one of you. They even said to all of us, we could take one of you or we could take all of you. So I was like, I want to get this. Come on. I get the call the next day. So you didn't get it.
Ah,
That broke me. I was even going to my friend's house that same day as well. Like the whole time I was at his house, I was like depressed. Like I was like, it's over. That was I'd say I think the one moment in my whole journey where I would say I think I'm going to give up. I might actually give up. I actually might just have to humble myself and just do uni or something, because I did not know how I was going to pick up myself from that point onwards.
mm,
But
that's
then,
nuts.
yeah, man, it was crazy. But then obviously I had to pick myself up. I had to keep on going. So I applied for many other roles. I even applied for one council job in Sutton Council. I didn't get that either after the interview stage. There's many other roles. Some roles I didn't get past the test stage. Others I didn't even get past the first initial application. It was mad. It was all crazy. Like I did not know what was going to happen.
Mm. That's
And
so
then,
tough because it's like you never know how well you're doing until it's too late. Like you either get it or you don't.
so true. You don't know how many people you're up against as well. So it's really crazy.
Honestly.
But yeah, like, but I'll say where everything started really coming, to crunch time was when I ended sixth form. Cause I ended sixth form and I had no apprenticeship. Even my headmaster, he asked me, oh yeah, what are you going to do now? And I said, yeah, do an apprenticeship. He's like, okay, that's good. I'm just happy he didn't ask me apprenticeship with who, because at that time I had no one. The closest I had at the time was the apprenticeship organization provider that I'm with, White Hat. So I applied for them, and obviously in my head I was like, yeah, I'm guaranteeing that apprenticeship quickly. It wasn't like that either. Even with them, after I joined them, it was a long time before I got an apprenticeship. Like even
Damn.
like there were many offer like roles that even obviously brought my way to try and apply for. Those roles even they didn't want me either. So it was crazy. Like, and it was also them ones where I started realizing, okay, it's clear that I can't really, I started realizing that I want to do digital marketing,
Mm.
but I'm not qualified. As in, I don't actually have nothing to my name that shows I have any actual skill in the field. And
Yeah.
I realized that the most when I started trying to join White Hat as one of their like potential apprentices. But they told me try and do at least 50% on the, I don't know if you've heard of it, the Google Digital Garage course. Garage.
Oh yeah, I saw
So
you post that on
yeah.
your LinkedIn. When you
Yeah,
went about
so
it.
yeah, eventually it's a long time. Yeah. So
Spoiler alert.
yeah, so yeah, there we go. So obviously I grinded quickly to get 50% so I could then pass the the phone interview to show that I have knowledge in digital marketing so they can let me on. And even then it was like, I still haven't completed it. So that was like,
Mm.
well, okay, so here you're a person kind of from digital marketing apprentice with an unfinished course. I know other actual marketing experience. So I was like, right now, I'm just going based on my source. So by my source, I mean like my confidence, my determination, my persistence. That's what I'm going off right now to get me a role. That's what I was
Yeah.
going off. Yeah, but yeah, that was that. And obviously, I hit the end of sixth form and I had nothing to my name. I had D's in my A levels. So,
Damn.
and it was like, yeah, cause obviously I decided I wasn't going to go to uni. I stopped caring about A levels. Of course, I do not recommend that. For anyone viewing, if you're doing A levels, do it properly. Even if you don't want to go to uni, do it properly. Not an excuse for you to slack. Unless you're doing some side project that's going to lead towards what you're doing next, then I don't want you to slack. Do it properly. Don't be like me. Even
Yeah.
if you're not going to use it for anything.
I've heard that so many times as well. People just slacked off and it's like, similar to you, they just didn't get anything in the end. And now it's like, crap, what do I do? I haven't got the good
That's
enough
what I'm saying.
grades.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Even that's what I'm saying. I'm really blessed to be where I'm at right now, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't take it for granted. Even if you say that I don't want to go to university, if you're still in the middle of doing your A levels and you've decided or you've promised that you're going to finish them. Because in my case, my mom just told me to promise her that like to at least finish. She told me at least finish your A levels and then you can do what you want. So I said, okay.
Mm.
But if you want to do that, at least do your best. Even if you don't like what you're doing, even though you don't want to do it. Because obviously for me, if my mum had allowed me to at that time, I probably would have left sixth form at the end of my first year and tried to go for an apprenticeship straight away because I did not want to stay there for another year because I didn't see a point. But she told me to stay. But the thing is, you can't stay and not do anything profitable. You have to make sure you stay and you actually get something out of it. Whether it be connections, whether it be you learn and use the facilities that your sixth form provides, even like the computers and the study halls and things like that, to start looking into what you want to do in regards to your future. Like if you're applying for an apprenticeship, you're planning to do, I don't know, your own freelance and side hustle, whatever, use the facilities that your college has provided in your free study time to do that. Because at the end of the day, it's called study time, right? It's not do your A levels or do your BTEC course time. It's called study time. So that's for you to study. Obviously, primarily it's for the course you're doing. But if you're saying, okay, I think it's more profitable for me to do something in relation to what I want to do after I finish this course rather than what I need to do in my course right now, then I'll say do it, personally speaking. But of course, don't obviously like put what you're doing in your course to the side either. You need to make sure you get that done to the best of your ability too. But also, obviously, use the facilities you have. Use the facilities you've got, because not everyone obviously has access to computers at home or even like the ability to actually have these resources at home, unfortunately. So that's what I'm saying. When you're at school, don't waste your time. Use what you have provided. Use the free paper. Use the ink they got in their printers. Use it. Honestly, no, I'm being serious. I can't remember. I think there was a time I print my CV one time in my sixth form office. I can't remember. But that's my point. But yeah, so I got to the end of sixth form, I finished, and I was like, I had nothing to show for it. Even my mom cussed me saying, look at you didn't want to go to university, now look what you're doing. Honestly, I got violated. Like, I thought, like, my sister, she's older than me, quite older than me, so she finished university quite a bit ago. So she was working now. So it was like, I look like a wasteman. So my mom, she's been uni, she's working, she's a nurse. My sister, she's doing uni, she's working, she's doing her thing. I think at the time she was working in a school or something like that. Me, I finished A-levels, I flopped A-levels. What am I doing? Working in JD Sports. And I only worked there for 3 weeks as well. Honestly, yeah, this was after the SFW last year. Yeah, I worked for JD Sports for a bit. Yeah, but yeah, man, but it was funny. It was funny. It was a funny 3 weeks. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. At least you got a mentor.
Yeah. But yeah, like, so what I'll say is that, yeah, so I was at the point where I was like, what to do now? Because obviously one thing about me as well, like one thing I always grew up learning, and I think my parents always put in my head, especially my dad, because of the color of my skin. Obviously, I didn't want to. It wasn't really for me to bring race into this, but I'll say it straight. Like, because of how I look, like being a BAME individual, I was always told you're going to have to work much, much harder to get to certain places. You're always going to have to work 3 times as hard to get to certain places. For me, I didn't really see that. I didn't really experience it directly. I never actually saw it with my own eyes. But I'd say it was engraved in me. So I understood that I need to stand out in the sense that I need to do more. I need to do extracurricular things. I need to do other things that other students in my age range aren't doing, to put on my CV, to make myself stand out, to do more. So when I do apply for whatever I'm applying for, it shows that I've got something backing me, something that shows that, okay, this guy has experience, not just the normal theory of education, but physical, practical experience. I did many other things, so I did a lot of things. So prior to even the end of my sixth form time, and even after that, I was doing many things. Even me doing SFW was part of what I'm trying to say now as well. I did SFW because I wanted to do something that showed, okay, I want to improve myself as a young individual. I want to show that I have knowledge of industry, that I've learned things, I've been mentored, I've been taught ways of getting further in the industry. I even joined my local borough's youth parliament. I was the chair there. I wanted to be there so I could obviously learn new skills, leadership skills, team working skills, communication skills. And obviously me being the chair was the best advantage. So as soon as that role came up, I applied for it straight and I got it. I got it. I did one. Yeah, I did one speech. I used Bruce Lee. I used a Bruce Lee quote and I got it. so I did that, and I had to make sure that I made sure that was on my CV. I made sure that I did whatever I could to stand out, to show that I'm doing the extra. I'm not just doing the ordinary thing of I go to school, I do sports after school, and that's it. I wanted to do more. To make up for me not doing this whole normal thing of going to uni or doing the normal school tradition of, getting good grades, so on and so forth. I had to stand out. It wasn't obviously to make up for the grades, obviously, but it was more of just to stand out. I had to make sure I was always doing more than my peers. That's the mindset I kind of had. I realized that a lot more last year, I'd say. Because,